Welcome back to the Pack Chat, our Student Voice Opinion segment. I'm your host, Millie Suarez, joined by co-host Jack Cooper, and for Austin Makaborski, Molly Pinkerton, and guest Landon Reed as we discuss this week's most trending topics. Let's get started. First up, Gen Z is a nightmare to work with. For the last 2 years, bosses have been all talk about annoyances of this generation in the workplace until recently, where 6 in 10 employers are rapidly firing young workers who just aren't up to the business standards. They say Gen Z is unprepared, just don't want to do their work, and are unprofessional. Ultimately, having a degree just isn't enough. So, do you guys think our generation is prepared for the real world?
I think, no. I don't think they're prepared one bit.
Okay, me either.
What?
I don't think that Gen Z is very prepared. Like, I don't think anyone takes it very seriously.
I think it depends.
I would also agree with that.
Okay, yeah, I think it depends, but also, like, I feel like majority, like, I don't know. Like,
Well, because talking about us personally, like, I'd say we're pretty professional. Am I wrong?
Yeah, but, like, also, like, in, like, a real-life job and real environment, I feel like I would be so lazy and so, like, not, like, oh, like, let me do my job real quick.
I feel like it comes from, like, a place of, like,
How you were raised, maybe?
historically, like, older generations will just, like, sort of dog on the other younger generations. And I feel like that's where it's coming from. Because it's not Gen Z. It's, like, it's just these few specific instances that I feel like are really sticking out, that they don't define, like, a generation.
I guess.
And there's so many, like,
Yeah.
people, like, just, like,
Go
that
ahead.
I feel
I
like
think-
would be great workers.
Oh, go ahead.
So, I also think it has something to do with parenting. Because, look, I think I have great parents because, you know, they disciplined me at a young age. I learned my manners. I, like, yes ma'am, no
Yeah,
ma'am.
you do have good parents.
And so, that's a big thing on how your work ethic is going to be like
For sure.
once you grow older, and how determined you're going to be to work, and like just that mindset that you're going to have. Because if your parents are just like, oh yeah, we let our child do whatever they want,
Yeah.
how are they going to be prepared for the real world?
Yeah, I think.
When they have a deadline or when they have a job that they need to like,
very vocal about
Yeah,
very-
very passionate. I like that. I see the truth where you're coming from,
Yeah.
but on the other side, like, there's so many people in this generation that their parents are not giving them the tools that they need. So the Gen Z that's getting fired, those were probably the parents where, like, technology was first coming out, and those parents were just like, okay, whatever. Like, we don't really know, like,
Right,
they didn't really know about technology, and like that's like one of the things that like had
Yeah.
kids like become like much more lazy. I
yeah,
would say.
which I
Yeah.
think it's definitely. I'm not saying all of Gen Z isn't prepared at all. It's definitely a 50-50 split. What I'm saying is
sure.
more with this new generation, and like that. I know we're focusing on Gen Z, but I'm even like Gen Alpha a little bit. It's like the parenting like level of, hey, you know, you're very disciplined and hard on your kids because that's how they need to learn at a young age, so that way it's implemented into their brain, so that way they're not having to learn all this. I think that is like really the big problem, like
Yeah.
nowadays.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from.